Bum, 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 bum. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm just kind of clearing my space here a little bit so I have room to do some readings. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do Monday mini medicine card readings. Woo! So come on in, make yourself to home. And the way this works, the first 6 people to come on and to say yes in the comments get a 1-card reading from the medicine card deck. The links have been showing up so much lately. It's interesting that she's on the bottom. Anyway, so, hey Lily, yay, I'm glad you made it too. So, come on in. If you would like a 1-card reading, say yes in the comments. The first 6 people who do so get a reading. And if you are not one of those 6, or you come in late, or, hey Tammy, I miss you, Tammy. I was just thinking about you today. Awesome. Joe and Roulette are in the house. I already got you, Lily. I took your hi as a... All right, so I keep interrupting myself. So come on in. My only ask is that you please share this video. I'm trying to focus on expanding my audience, and if you could help me out with that by sharing the video, that would be so lovely. Let's see. Did I say about if you're watching this on repeat or you're not one of the first 6? Hi, Sage. Choose a number between 1 and 6, and pay attention to that card when it comes up. Anna, hello. Yay. And I actually had a couple of people who couldn't make it tonight say, I'll take card number such and such. So you're always free to do that as well. So we've got our 6. So if you didn't get one, just pay attention to pick a number, or pick a couple of numbers, pick all 6 numbers. There's no limits and no rules, only guidelines. And even if you have a card, I always tell people to pay attention to the other cards, because the outside world reflects your inner world. Your outside world is always speaking to you. And so even if it's not the card you asked for, even if it's just a little bit of like a phrase or a word or something from someone else's reading that catches your ear, that is still your message. That is the universe speaking to you. And that's part of that learning to listen with our hearts rather than our heads. It's like, oh crap, I'm number 3 and that was number 1, so that one isn't about me. If you hear it, it's about you. And if you think about that, and that, like they say, like when you do a reading for someone else, that reading is a reflection of you as well. And so, based on all the readings I do and all of this stuff, it's like, wow, I have a lot of work to do. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me. As I said, this is a free video. My only ask is that you share it. And if you enjoy my work, you get something from tonight, and you want to support me, support my work, help me, enable me to continue to do this work, I do have my PayPal and Venmo links pinned to the top of the comments. This is my day job, so anything you wish to donate to the cause is very, very well. I'm sorry, I got distracted by Lily. So deeply grateful for anything you give. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's true too, Lily. It's like sometimes when you're doing the reading, you don't know something until it comes out of your mouth. There's so many times I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? Or, oh, wow, I didn't know I knew that. So welcome, everybody, and let us go ahead and get started. And I'm going to try for brevity tonight. I'm going to see if I can be succinct. Usually, last week's video was almost 2 hours long, so just to warn you. All right. It's card number 1 for Lily. Yes, I've been listening to Christmas music already and watching Christmas movies. All right. Oh, awesome. All right, card number 1 for Lily is Blue Heron. Blue heron, I love blue heron. Heron is one of the medicines, one of the power animals that works with me a lot, or that I connect with a lot. Blue heron is one of the greatest hunters in the animal kingdom, yet unlike other hunters, he doesn't have to stalk his prey and hunt it down. Heron medicine is about stillness. It's about alignment, right? Head in the sky, feet on the earth, or in the earth, in the mud, under the water. And so it's that alignment, like all chakras in alignment, heaven and earth. And it's also kind of the, takes on a shamanic tinge to it. In the shamanic cosmic view, there are 3 worlds. There's the upper world, the lower world, and the middle world. The middle world is the one where we are now. The upper world and the lower worlds are transcendent realms, meaning that in order to be in one of those realms, the spirits need to be of a certain vibration or higher, just because you just can't get there if you're from a lower. And so when we do shamanic journeying, most of our journeys are to the upper world or the lower world. Lower world is where the animal spirits tend to be. The upper world is where the more human-like teachers tend to be. And the middle world, of course, is where we are here. And so heron kind of is almost like that world tree, right? Roots in the earth, head in the sky, physically present. And it's through stillness, standing in that alignment, that heron can stand there for hours without moving or moving very little. And and their legs are like, that skinny or whatever, so they don't make a lot of resistance in the water, right? And so through their stillness, the water around them calms, right? They're not like Alan Watts said something about how you can't flatten waves with a flat iron, right? You just create more waves, more ripples. The only way to still the waves is through stillness. And so that is the medicine that heron, blue heron in particular, embodies, is that stillness. And through that stillness, heron casts a shadow on the water, and the fish are drawn to that shadow. They're drawn to the coolness of that shadow. So by being in alignment and staying in their power, in that stillness, everything heron needs comes to him. He doesn't have to go looking for it. He doesn't have to go hunting for it. And then still, like, there's these things that I've been trying to sort out in my own mind lately, or trying to put into words. And it's like, we live in a world of duality, right? We think it's an either or world, and it's one extreme or the other extreme. There's no in between. And so, like, but with heron, it's a both and. Heron can be perfectly still, not moving, and when he sees a fish, boom, it's like a lightning strike. Just because you're still, just because you're at peace, doesn't mean that you can't be quick. Kind of like lizard, right? Lizard medicine. Lizard sits in the sun all day, just hardly moving, and as soon as you take a step toward them, zoom, they're off like a shot. So it's a both and so, and alignment is everything. When we align first before we act, I say this a lot, and I think it's because it's the lesson that I need to really learn. I'm better and better at it. But when we're in alignment is when we are, it's our heart is aligned with Creator, with Source. And your heart is what aligns you with all humans, all living beings. So when you're living from your heart, when you take that time to tune into your heart first, your heart already makes the calculations between Creator and all living beings of what's the right thing to do. So you don't have to question it. And so from that place of alignment, that connecting to spirit, every action you take from that place is inspired action, inspirited action. And so you have more, what's the word I'm looking for? More effect on the world than you would if you were just running around trying to fix this and that and putting out fires, right? And so right now, especially as with the world doing what the world is doing, it's important to keep centered, keep aligned, and move from the heart now more than ever, right? Hi, Kit Kat, you coming up? So, but like for you, Lily, I know you've had a lot of stuff spinning around you, and one of Heron's messages is like Artemis is my matron goddess, and one of the things that she says to me over and over and over and over again is, "Be the eye of the storm." That is Heron. No matter what's spinning around him, he is the eye of the storm. He is the calm. And as he maintains that calm, everything around him calms. And so I think this is a good validation, Lily, for everything you've been going through, and how, if you look at how well you've been handling things lately compared to how you would have handled them 5 years ago, a year ago even, like, you'll be able to see how much progress you've made, right? I know you've impressed the heck out of me. So Yeah, and so just keep that. Know that you're doing it, right? Know that this is like, this card is coming up to tell you to take a look at how well you are doing. That you probably haven't even noticed, but to give yourself the credit, holy crap, you know. And again, it's not like I dated someone in AA. One of the sayings that I loved in that was progress, not perfection, right? So just because you hit this or you continually, it's like it's no one is ever right there all the time, right? But a friend of mine channels Jesus, and one of the things that he told us long time ago is that the sign of a master is not that you don't go to those dark places or the confusion, the storm, whatever you want to call it, the dark night. The sign of the master is how little time they spend there before coming back up. And so, yeah, you might sometimes still feel like you're chasing your tail, like everything is out of control, but you've got this, okay? Good job. We're going to do a... Hey, Kit Kat, what you doing? All right. So, card number 2 is for Tammy. I was a little nervous tonight about what was going to come up because of the elections, etc. Oh, I'm so glad that made sense, Lily. You are so very welcome. All right, Tammy. Squirrel! Card number 2 is squirrel. Come on, little squirrel. What is the message? You know, it's kind of like I was saying with Lily with Heron about the message was to take a look at yourself and see how far you've come. I think that's what squirrel is saying for you as well. Like, squirrel is, one of the things squirrel is about is resourcefulness, right? No matter where squirrel goes in the forest, there are nuts buried nearby. And so it's like taking stock of all, how do I put this? You have these unlimited resources all around you that are the fruition of all the work that you have been doing. And all the seeds that you have been planting, you might, again, you might not recognize or realize how much you have really changed the world. But you're always out there scattering seeds and burying acorns, and and squirrels can't possibly remember where they buried all of their nuts and acorns. And so like whole forests have been planted by squirrels. And it's kind of like, I guess you could look at it like an investment. It's like you bury the acorn, you forget about it. Pretty soon there's an oak tree that is dropping, millions more. I don't know how millions or thousands, or I don't know how many grow, but you're dropping like hundreds of thousands of more acorns than that one tiny one that you buried. It's like everything grows, everything keeps moving forward, and even when you can't see it, it's like that song I sing when I'm doing my pipe ceremonies about, may you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. It's like walking in beauty is walking with the realization that everything you do, everything you say, sows seeds of either love or fear, creation or destruction, right? And so walking in beauty is walking with that awareness of the seeds that you are planting, like Johnny Appleseed, casting them seeds, right? And like in the Bible, it talks about, you sow seeds, some of them fall on the roadside and they don't go anywhere. Others land in the fertile soil and they grow. And it's not up to you what lands where, but you sow seeds of beauty, of love. And it may be kind of a squirrely way to do things, right? Your manners and everything is kind of squirrely, all over the place, and chasing and tumbling and playing, but it's benefits the world, right? Everything you do affects everything else. So, and it's that, that trust in the universe, trust in the flow of abundance, that the universe knows what you need before you even ask. And that if there is a desire in you, if there is a need in you, that need or that desire could not exist within you if there weren't something to fulfill that desire. Like that longing, that desire is proof that what you are desiring exists. Otherwise, the desire for it, there would be no correlation, there would be no resonance. And so, like I've talked about, like squirrel, like, that's the biggest acorn I've ever seen, thank you, and then buries it, then his arms are open for the next acorn. And so it's that flow, it's that constant flow, the inhale and the exhale, outhale. You don't worry where your next breath is coming from, right? For most people, like you exhale, you empty your lungs, knowing that there is plenty of air to come back in, that, you don't have to just take half breaths because you have to hold on to that little bit of air in case there's not enough out here, right? No, you exhale completely, and then it's a form of trust. It's like knowing there is always enough. And it's the same with the idea of abundance. Just like that air flows in and out of you, so does the abundance of the universe, whether that is financial, physical, groceries, friends, whatever. But it's inhale, exhale. And so it's that opening and closing. It's the binary code underneath all things, right? Zeros and ones, zeros and ones. The yin and the yang. So just keep that faith that no matter what things look like around you, no matter what the outside world looks like, you are always taken care of. And it is the ease with which you respond to things, the ease with which you manifest things, that is the real gift to those around you. Because you're like the little chink in the armor, the crack in that lets the light in, because people get the tunnel vision, especially at times like now when it seems so dark and overwhelming and insurmountable. And yet here you come along just playing and creating and manifesting, and people are like, what's going on? How can she possibly do that? So you're opening that door, that gateway, that portal to bigger things and more possibilities than what is seen, right? And that is one of the most valuable things right now in the world, is to help pull back that curtain so that people can see behind what's going on and not just be caught in that claustrophobic darkness that seems to be permeating everywhere right now. So, and you just automatically encourage that, just being you encourage people to play. You encourage people like that passionate, following things so passionately, knowing yourself so well that the universe and you have its own language, right? That is your gift to the universe, is making that apparent. And it's not to get other people to follow you and do exactly what you do or how you do it, but you inspire others just by being who you are. Does that make sense? And never stop playing. That sense of humor of yours is such a gift. You know, and they talk about bringing light to the darkness, right? Well, lightness doesn't necessarily mean light as in sunlight. It can be bringing lightness as in like lightening the load, right? So good job, Tammy. You get one of these too. All right, card number 3 for Joe. All right. Joe, card number 3 actually isn't a card in the deck. I'm shuffling and I see dog. I see a dog. I'm sorry, Kit Kat. Down in front. I'll feed you afterwards, okay? You still actually have some food here, Missy. Okay. First I saw a dog, and then it changed. It kept flipping back and forth, and it ended on a jackal. So card number 3, which does not exist in this deck, is jackal. That's interesting. Jackal is one of the gatekeepers to the afterlife. Let me ask you this, Joe. Have you ever considered becoming a death doula? It's like, you know, Anubis, the Egyptian god Anubis, the god of the afterlife. Okay. And Lily, if you're still on here, this has something to do with you too. My friend Lily, we were talking a little while ago about psychopomp, right? That's the term we use. It comes from ancient Greek. Hermes, or Mercury, was the main psychopomp, the farrier of souls. And it was he who would help the souls go to the afterlife. And so one of the things we do in shamanism is we do psychopomp work. We journey that is so perfect, Joe. You were spending the weekend trying to help spirits move on. I'm not sure what Wiccason is, but oh, is that where there was that is exactly what I'm talking about. That is psychopomp work. And it's like a lot of times spirits souls will pass, and they don't actually realize that they've died. And because they're still kind of facing this way, we can get their attention, and then we call in our guides, or at least that's how I do it. Oh, an old mining town. Oh, that's interesting. Be careful though, because, you know, it's like, it is, if you are called to do it, just make sure you're calling in your guides, your protection and everything to help keep you centered. Otherwise, I may have to do a soul retrieval for you. But that's perfect, helping spirits from an old mining town. And so it's like helping, it's like we get their attention, and then like I have a specific spirit guide that helps me. Once I get their attention, I like, hey, look, behind you, and they'll either go to my guide, or my guide will go get relatives of theirs who have already died. So it's like, hey, look, there's your grandma. And the grandma's like, oh, I've been waiting for you. Come on, I got cookies baking or whatever. And they take them and carry them off into the light, or lead them into the light. It is one of my favorite things. I get chills just thinking about it. It's one of my favorite things to do in shamanism. It is so rewarding. So do that, and let me know if you need, like, if you have questions, I can help. Eventually, that's one of the things that I'll probably be teaching. I've already taught it once, and I've got another group that I'm going to be teaching that to again. So maybe we'll talk. We'll talk. But that's Jackal. It's like he is the gatekeeper to the other world, doing that psychopomp work, preparing the souls and helping them to move to where they need to go to. Awesome. You guys are so amazing. So, if nothing else, that is a validation. That is so funny. I mean, I had no clue. Synchronicity. That is so amazing. And like when I do psycho, they talk about, especially when there's like a natural disaster or like that, where you've got a whole town, a whole ghost town, and the spirits are really thick. It's good, like I said, to either like power up, call in your body protectors, your totem animals, your ancestors, your ascended self, your true self, however you want to word it, whoever you want to work with, but make sure that you are radiant, right? So that there's no place for anything to get their hooks in or anything. And then go for it. But I also, okay, this is, if and when you do this work, call in Anubis or call in Jackal to be your guide, to help keep you safe. Because when you're in that place where there's all these spirits that don't know they're dead or are confused, it's easy to get swept up into that, okay? So just make sure you call on Jackal to walk with you, and or even call on Anubis. Because like when I took psychopomp training, that was one of the things we were told is like, never do it alone. And so even if I'm alone and there's like a natural disaster, I call in all my power and my guides, and then I connect to all the other people who are doing this work around the world. And I work with Anubis sometimes, and actually Osiris. They just kind of like show up sometimes. So, but again, if there's anything I can do, if you have questions or things that I can add to that experience. And thank you for doing that work. It is such important work. So, wow. Woof-da. Good job, you guys. All right, roulette, card number 4. I love when that happens. That happens every once in a while. I'll get an animal that's not actually in the deck. You are so welcome, Joe. You guys are amazing. Roulette, you got Heron. So card number 1 and card number 4 are the same cards. Give me a moment to tune in and see what... Oh, okay. Kind of going back to Jackal, the thing I was meaning to say that me and my friend Lily, who's on here, talked about is how soul retrieval, like the soul retrieval healings that I do, I never thought of it this way, but it's like psychopomp for the living, right? And so just to throw that out there, and you know, whatever you do to help someone be whole is also that that psychopomp, leading the soul home. Okay. Card number 4. For roulette, we have Heron. Okay, cool. Thanks, Joe. So roulette, there's no hurry to do what you need to do. I know sometimes it feels like you got to hurry up, and it feels like people are watching you and judging you, and you got to hurry up and get through this task or get to the next thing or whatever it is. But there is no hurry, right? Along with that stillness I was talking about earlier for Heron is also this grace. I mean, recently I was down at the river, and I swear a heron just materialized across the river. I didn't see him fly in. I didn't notice he was there. And all of a sudden, after I'd been sitting there for at least a half hour, all of a sudden, boom, there's a heron standing across the river from me. And he didn't just stand, he started walking. And it's like just this slow, deliberate way that they walk. And I don't want to say it's not conscious in the way of being contrived or overthinking or like having to control everything, but it's like mindfulness. Like, okay. So what I'm getting, a recommendation for you is to do some walking meditation. That's interesting. You know, if there is, I'm not sure where there are any around here, but if there's a labyrinth nearby that you can walk, or just walking in the woods. It's like, I took a meditation class one time, and he taught us this walking meditation, and it was so amazing. It's similar to what I talked about before, like that meditation where you sit, and instead of closing out the world, you open up and allow the world in, and you just listen to all the sounds without labeling them, without going, oh, there's a car, oh, there's a bird, there's a dog. You just hear the sounds as one tapestry of sound. You hear the vibrations. This is very similar, except that you're walking. And you start, and you just kind of, again, like open your senses, not just your hearing, because in order to walk, your eyes have to be open. But you can do kind of a soft gaze, and again, look at the tapestry of colors around you without labeling or assigning names to things. Just see how the different shades of green move and whatever. But it's like it in essence is being totally present in the moment, open and experiencing everything that is right there. And it's amazing. And because you're walking, there's not that, you know, your brain isn't trying to like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Because it's part of the walking, your brain has to be in charge of actually paying enough attention to take those steps that it doesn't have time to be questioning how you're perceiving the world. So, yeah, but try that. And that goes for anybody. Instead of going for a walk in the woods and ruminating about all the things going on and running that same argument over and over and over in your head, or holding on to resentments and how could they do that, and oh my God, how am I ever going to survive, blah, blah, blah. You can still walk and get your exercise, but be that sense of mindfulness and presence where you are a part of everything. Because when you do that, that tapestry at some point is no longer outside of you, because you are walking through it. You are part of that tapestry. And that is one of the most healing things, is to become aware of that oneness, that there is no separation. Okay? So, in the least, there is no hurry. You're in the right place at the right time. And like I've said, the universe revolves around you. And so you can take your time. Go at your own pace. Don't let anyone or anything push you faster than you're ready to go. But that comes with the caveat, of course, that you're going to still keep moving, right? So, anyway, I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. And it's when you realize that oneness and you experience the fact that there is no separation. She's singing All Colors in the Wind. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Yes, that's absolutely. Of course you are. You're my sister from another mister. Yeah. When there's no separation, when there's no other, there's nothing to threaten, there's nothing to fear, right? So good job. Okay, everyone gets fireworks tonight. That's for you too, Joe. I don't think I gave you fireworks, but since you guys are together. Hi, Kit Kat. What's up, Missy? Are you helping? All right, card number 5 for Sage. Well, I was thinking about that whole thing about the world revolves around you thing, and it made me, it reminded me, I don't remember which volume of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy it was, but, they created this machine because Zaphod Beeblebrox thought he was the center of the universe, right? And so they built this machine to prove to him that he would go in and he would experience the vastness of the universe and realize how small he is in comparison to the universe. But they didn't take into consideration that because he was the reason that they built this machine, he really was the center of that reality. And so the machine ended up just supporting his idea that he was the most important being in the universe. So, anyway. You're welcome, Roulette. All right, card number 5 for Sage. I haven't read that series in a long time. Might be time again. Now I've got the theme song from Red Dwarf in my head. You also get magical cat energy tonight. Yes, from Kira, my helper. All right, one more. Wow. All right, Sage. Talk about cat medicine, magical cat medicine. I know, right, Joe? It's cold outside. There's no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less. Because Hitchhiker's Guide doesn't really have its own theme song. Well, it's technically The Journey of the Sorcerer, which was written by one of the Eagles. And it's one of my favorite songs, but it doesn't have lyrics. Anyway, so Sage, card number 5 is Jaguar. You have arrived, my friend. Jaguar is about integrity. And you're welcome, Lily, for putting that song in your head. Oh, Jaguar is one who walks with your spirit guide. Yeah, awesome. And so, it's like Jaguar. Jaguar is the true queen of the jungle, right? It's all about that sovereignty and leadership and you don't, how do I put this? You don't, how do I put this? There's this thing that keeps flipping back and forth in my head. You're not royal. You don't act the way you do because you're royalty. You are royalty because of the way you act. Does that make sense? In other words, it's not like the queen demanding she be worshipped or anything, but it's you are royal, you are sovereign because of the grace, the integrity that you move through the world, the leadership that you walk with. And integrity also means that wholeness, right? Like being complete in yourself. And you owe no one any explanations, justifications. You don't have to ask permission. The universe revolves around you. And it really does. It's like the circle of life, like the Lion King, right? When Scar became king, this is so topical for right now. When Scar became king, the land started to die, and the animals started getting sick, and because he didn't have integrity, he wasn't whole of himself, and he demanded worship, demanded servitude, right? Like someone else right now. I'm talking in Washington, not or Florida, wherever. And then once Simba took back the kingship, the land flourished again. It's the story of the Fisher King. Percival and the Fisher King, and how the Fisher King had the Grail, had the Holy Grail, but he was greedy and selfish about it, and so all his land began to fail, and there was famine and drought, and because he tried to take all the power himself. And it was through Percival, and I don't remember the whole story, but Percival asking questions that the Fisher King was able to release his burden, and in his healing, the entire land was healed. Because like in Irish and Celtic mythology, not even in the mythology, when you became king in like Ireland, there was a ceremony where you were wed to the earth, because you were the consort of the earth. You didn't rule by yourself. You were a consort of the earth and the natural world. And any king that tried to be greedy and selfish, the earth would respond by not growing crops and making the people suffer, because the king was creating this imbalance. And so, in other words, you are your main priority. And when you prioritize yourself, take care of yourself, again, like I was talking about with Heron, living from the heart, then everything around you is also in balance, right? Jaguar doesn't go on these hunting sprees and just kills everything in sight. She's very careful about what she takes down, what she eats. And she waits for the sick and the weak and the elderly, right? And in so doing and taking what she needs to nurture herself, she actually makes the herds more healthy and faster, right? She takes the slowest ones, she takes the sick ones, which helps to keep illness out of the herd. And it actually, it perpetuates the fastest in the herd are the ones that keep surviving. So by being true to yourself, you are automatically healing and holding that bond with every being in that circle of life. You might be at the top of the circle, but everything that benefits you benefits everyone else on that circle. It comes around, you may be an apex predator, right? But when you pass, the smallest of the jungle eat you, right? So it's like there's no one greater or less than, but it's recognizing your own worth and your own integrity and taking care of yourself in order to take care of everyone else. Does that make sense? I wish I knew the words. That's one of my goals, is to learn the words to that song. But I hope that helps, Sage. But it's like you've arrived. I just got chills. It is so patently clear that you are doing the right thing. So fireworks for you too. All right, card number 6 for Anna. I might actually finish on time tonight. Woohoo! All right. I think one of my friends chose number 3. I think another friend chose number 6 because they weren't going to be able to be here tonight. So this is card number 6 for Anna. Anna, you got the crow. Meow. Hi. I know. I'm going to get you more food when we're done here, okay? Okay? I love you. I'll be right with you, Missy. We're almost done. So, card number 6 for Anna is Crow. Oh, this is cool. Again, like a lot of the other cards tonight, this feels like a validation from the universe that you have been doing your work. When Crow comes up, a lot of times to me, it's about shadow work, right? I mean, even on the picture, it has Crow looking into this puddle and seeing his shadow, his reflection. And so it's a real testament to how much shadow work you've done, how much you have done to clear your vision in discernment of what's you and what's not you. What's you and what's projection, what's reflection. And what that means is that, you know, as the entire country and potentially the entire planet are right now looking at their shadow, going through this dark night of the soul, you've already done your personal work. And so you're going to be able to navigate that darkness and help other people find the light. And Crow is so closely related to Raven, right? And Raven is the fire bringer. Raven is the one who brought fire from the sun to the earth so that we could see, right? And Crow is also about that magic and that creation, following the shiny things, right? Even if it's dark, there's always something kind of shiny. And so it's like in following that path, following and teaching other people, no matter how dark it is, to follow the shiny things, right? To follow the glimmers of the heart. If something feels good, go for it. If something resonates and makes you feel happy, just even a little bit, that's your compass. Be like Crow and follow the shiny things. Because Crow is black, just like the dark. But he knows himself apart from the dark, if that makes sense. He doesn't get lost. If this had come up in reverse, then that's like being lost in the shadow, not knowing where you end and your shadow begins. But you have distinguished yourself from the darkness around you. You have learned your way, learned to trust yourself through the darkness by carrying your own light. And this is how you are going to help people in the very near future, finding their own way through that darkness, right? And to help to keep thinking about E.T. and, you know, the heart light. Let your heart light shine, like the Neil Diamond song. But it's like by finding that light within you and trusting your intuition, trusting your heart to guide you no matter what is happening around you. That is the skill that is going to be the most beneficial for those around you in the coming days. And so it's a big validation, giving you credit for how far you've come, and also a gratitude for doing that work so that you kind of blaze the trails. A happy glow for all the world to see. Yes, Lily. Is that from something? You got it in quotes. I'm not sure what that's from. But it's like Kamala said about the, you know, if it's not really, really dark, you can't see the sky, the stars. And so that is our job right now, is to be those bright lights in the night sky. And that's what you're doing. You're like, the darkness actually illuminates who you are to other people. It's kind of like, if you've ever seen those like National Geographic programs about how flowers look to insects, and like to us it's just kind of a pretty color and, oh, that's nice. But like to a bug's eyes, it's like they radiate, they pulsate. Oh, is that from the Neil Diamond song, The Happy Glow for All the World? I haven't heard that song. I mean, I don't know where that came from. It's like I haven't heard that song in years, decades even. So thank you. Thank you, Lily. This is definitely my tribe. You are part of my tribe. But yeah, so letting your own light shine instead of trying to illuminate the darkness, right? Or become the sun and to shine. It's like that is it, I think it's from the Bible about that. It's better to light one candle than to curse the darkness. And so it's like lighting that candle of yourself for others to see. It reminds me of a poem I wrote years and years ago. Okay, I don't know if I can remember all the words to it, but it's like, I awoke within a dream while other people slept. And there, oh crap. I awoke within a dream while other people slept. I'll have to post it in the comments after I'm done with the video. But one of them is, I light the candle of myself, but do not curse the light. Do not curse the night. I'll post that in the comments. I awoke within a dream while other people slept, and found that there, despite it all, my sanctity had kept. So with the beacons I have known, I gladly share the light. I light the candle of myself, but do not curse the night. I'll still post it. There's more to it, but so that's what you're doing. You are lighting the candle of yourself, not trying to be the overlighting soul and sun to take away all the darkness, but to be that twinkling, shining, glimmering star in the night sky. And that's how we find each other. We see our light, our heart light shine, right? And we find that unity. And just like if you've seen some of the photographs from the latest telescopes, it's like, you know, we think of stars as these individual separate little points of light, but when you look at them through these other telescopes, it's like they aren't separate. There's these threads of light and energy between them, so that the whole night sky looks like a neural network. And that's us. We're all neurons in the neural network of the earth. So, yeah. So good job, Anna. You've been doing your work, and it shows, and the universe is acknowledging that. So, all right. So that is our 6 cards. I'm going to pull another one for our community. This is whether you got a card or not. This card is for you. This is for the community. the animal that is going to accompany us this week. And I kind of wanted to talk about the country and the elections and stuff. I'm not sure how to do that, but I did want to point out last week the community card was Fox, right? The master of illusion, the master of, bait and switch, of making you think he is someplace when he's actually someplace else. The one that with the cloak of invisibility who can disappear right in front of your eyes, right? And I was saying, and that was like the night before election night. And I was just, and I was like, okay, there's gonna be some sleight of hand trickery going on. Don't get pulled in by the appearances of things. And I'm just saying, don't get pulled in by the appearance of things. I don't think it's over yet. My guidance this whole week has been, just wait. Just wait. There are things that haven't come into focus yet. So whatever that's worth, it may or may not, I don't know. But I know that's given me a little bit of hope. And help make things make sense, because the whole thing, when the results came in, made no sense. It just didn't fit. It didn't resonate. There was something hinky about it. And so and that's not just coming from a place of sore losers, right? I read today that one of the things that like narcissists, etc. do is shame you for what they do, right? And they actually tried to steal the election. And if I lose viewers, that's okay. And so others, like this time around, everyone's so cautious about being accused of stealing, or messing with something that they're afraid to do anything or investigate because they're afraid of that. But anyway, I'll let go of that. I just wanted to bring that up with Fox, that I think Fox is still with us, and that things are not as they appear, that there are other things still ready to be revealed. Meanwhile, I'm going to pull a card, and again, ask you to please share my video. If there's people who you think would get something out of it or enjoy it, please share it. You can tag people in the comments. And again, if you enjoy my work, if you got something from tonight and wish to reciprocate, I have my PayPal and Venmo links pinned to the top of the comments. And anything you wish to give me, I am beyond grateful for. And I thank you. This is my day job, so all of that goes to support me and this. So, and I love my job. I love my job so much. Anything else? Just keep watching my Facebook page. I just had some ideas for some new classes pop into my head today, so I'm going to start working on those. I'm going to be doing some classes probably online so that I can get a wider, help more people than just local people, etc. So stay tuned for that. And know that I am here to help you. My job is to support the community that supports me, the reciprocity, right? And there's nothing that brings me more joy than helping others find their own heart path. And so check out my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You can learn more about me. You can learn about the different shamanic offerings I have, readings and teachings and healings, oh my. And I I also am taking on new students, mentoring people one-on-one if that appeals to you. So let me know. And Wednesday nights, if you didn't know, I do another Facebook Live video at 7 o'clock Pacific time. I do the sacred pipe ceremony. I am a sacred pipe carrier. You might know it as a peace pipe. But my purpose in that, especially in what's going on now, is to hold space for an hour or so to allow people to kind of come in from the cold, come in from the world, take the world off their shoulders, and to sit in stillness or to sit in prayer and connect to spirit through the power of the sacred pipe ceremony. And it is one of the most powerful ceremonies I know, and I was raised Catholic. And then I became pagan. And so I know my way around ritual and ceremony, and this is hands down the most powerful that I know of. So join me Wednesday night if that sounds good to you. No prior experience needed. No, everybody is welcome. So check that out. And if you forget what card you had or what I said, I am going to share this video to my Facebook page, and I'm also going to upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel, where you can watch it forever. And the same with the pipe. I've got pipe ceremonies and songs and other videos up there, so check that out. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos. That helps me move up in the algorithms, makes it more available for other people, etc. So again, that reciprocity, by you're helping me, I help other people, and it just goes on and on and on. Crap, now I have the song that never ends in my head. This is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they're still singing it simply just because this is the song that never ends. Something like that. Okay, time for stop rambling. Time for a card, right? Ha ha! Lily, I thought you might want me to replace the other song that I put in your head. So, for our community card this week, we have Mountain Lion, Cougar, Puma. And that is about leadership. Not leadership that creates followers, as is being displayed, by certain people currently. A true leader creates more leaders, because it's what I was talking about earlier with Jaguar. It's like, it's a cat thing, right? That integrity, and your heart is your authority. No matter what anyone might say or do or think, you are sovereign, and your heart is your authority. Like I said, your heart is what connects you to Creator. Your heart is what connects you to all living beings. And so you can't move from your heart and do harm. And so a leader sparks and inspires the hearts of other people. So be that light in the darkness. Be, stand up, speak out, roar, and be the one who inspires others to step up into their power. Know that, again, you are sovereign, and the world revolves around you. Mountain lions are very territorial. And like Abraham Hicks talks about how, trying to think of how he puts it. You know, it's basically, without going there, it's basically as above, so below, right? It's like the universe has your back. Even in the darkest of times, even in the seemingly hopelessness of dictatorship, etc., there is always a solution. There is always a light. There is always a way through that. And that by taking care of your own territory, staying within the bounds of your territory, taking care of yourself and your loved ones within that territory, that sends ripples out and lights the way for others. It's like, it's that entrainment of when you have a room of clocks and the clocks eventually are all ticking at the same rate. When you raise your frequency and stand in your power, that energy ripples out and it raises others. And pretty soon you have this network and web of light that nothing can stand against, right? It's like my favorite lyrics from the song The Ghost Dance by Robbie Robertson. It's like, you don't stand a chance against my prayers. You don't stand a chance against my love, right? And so again, like I said earlier, it's not an either or. You don't have to take big risks, etc. It's like, just be true to yourself, right? You don't have to stand on the soapbox and say, look at me, but just in your own world, in your own territory, be the light you want to see in the world, right? And by doing that, you change the world, and you will find the world changing around you effortlessly. Because it's like, if you think about, like, if you're familiar with the Marvel Universe and the multiverse model, that's the way the universe is. It's like all these dimensions layered on top of each other, right? So here's the earth that we're on right now, right? And you're at this level of vibration where this world is true, and that's what you experience. But as you claim your power, as you follow your heart, you raise your frequency, right? Until you're aligned with this earth up here rather than this earth down here. And so by taking care of yourself, raising your own frequency, you automatically rise to a higher frequency reality. And in that reality, for example, miracles happen that help rebalance the power structure and infrastructure of the world, of the country, without you having to do anything except taking care of yourself. That's why taking care of yourself is not selfish, because as you raise, you pull everyone with you and you align with an earth, with reality. That's what all the talk about changing timelines is. You change your frequency, all of a sudden you're on a different timeline where certain things are true that weren't before. Anyway, I could go on and on and on, but I hope you get the idea. You are the creative force in your world. You are the co-creative force. And as long as you take care of your own territory, you will find the outside world changing to reflect that. Even if things are still dark and oppressive on the outside. Oh, okay, and this is something else that I wanted to bring up. that fits perfectly with Mountain Lion. Being yourself, finding your joy, no matter what anyone says, not letting the fear of someone else, etc., curb you, right? It's like oppression, narcissists, they thrive on holding people back. And so the best way to rebel is to let yourself shine. Don't let others, don't let the threat of others cause you to turn your light out. That said, of course, with a caveat, be safe, right? Don't take unnecessary risks. If it's not safe to like come out in your workplace or whatever, don't. But at least in your own time, in your own place, allow yourself to be yourself. Do the things that bring you joy. There's enough ugliness in the world. There's enough pain and suffering in the world. The best thing we can do, yes, Lily, I'm saying you should turn on your heart lights. Oh, you just made me forget what I was going to say. You know, in the musical Rent, there's lyrics to a song that say that the opposite of war isn't peace, it's creation. And, okay, I'm going to end up going over it, but it's because I'm not rambling. I want to tell you about, not this past year, but the year before. It was the first year I was invited to a Sundance Lakota ceremony. And I won't go into the details because it freaks people out. But the dancers are there for 4 days, basically tied to a tree, fasting, no water, no food. And this is like in the hottest part of the summer, and it's painful, and it's and they suffer. And afterwards, after the 4 days were up, I had one of the dancers, one of the ones that was out there for 4 days in the hot sun with no water. They're pierced, and the piercings is what is tied to the tree. So it was painful and all this stuff. This dancer, after those 4 days of suffering, he sought me out and he thanked me for my laugh. Because in the midst of all his suffering and hunger and thirst, my laugh brought him hope, brought him light. And it reminded him of what he was suffering for. And so in these times when things seem so somber and serious, we have to find joy. We have to find light. We have to find beauty. That's our best weapon. If you want to use a weapon, I'm not comfortable with that word, but it's our best strength is to refuse to be dimmed. Anyway, so thank you for joining me. Thank you for those who are still here with your persistence and holding out and keeping with me the entire time. I so appreciate you. Thank you. I hope you will join us next week, and please share, please invite your friends, and until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining. All right.